Hey guys, and welcome back to my Zodiac series. I'm doing Pisces today, and of course they are all inspired by Kimberly Margarita, aka Color Creep. She's awesome. If you don't know her, you should go check her out. I will leave her information in the description below. I'm super excited to do Pisces. They're really neat people. They're very emotional. Sometimes they can be a little sad or fearful, but they're also super gentle and wise people. So let's get started. So I'm going to start by blocking out my eyebrows, and just to let you know, the first 3 minutes of this video is me blocking out my eyebrows. So if you don't want to follow this along, you can go ahead and fast forward. I'm taking NYX glitter glue on a little spoolie and rubbing it through my brows. You can use an Elmer's glue stick for this as well, but I didn't have one on hand, and I had used this in the last 2 videos of my series and it worked alright, so I just kept on with it. Yep, so we're just running those brows through with the spoolie, making sure that all of the hairs are laying really flat to my face. Now I'm going to use my hairdryer. I've smartened up a little bit since the last 2 videos. I'm using a hairdryer on the setting Cool, and then once they're all dry, I'm finishing with some NYX setting powder. And then you're going to basically do this 2 more times until you really can't feel your brows anymore when you run your fingers through them. For the last layer of this glue, I went in with my hand or my finger because I didn't want the spoolie to ruin the set that I already had going on, and then I wiped away everything else, the excess, with a makeup wipe. Let that dry again with the hair dryer on the Cool setting. That's really important. And then 1 more layer of powder before our next step. So I'm going in with a flat shader brush and the Jaclyn Hill palette in the color Hunts. So this is going to help cool, even out our brow color. I know that this seems really strange to put something so red on top of your brows, but it's really going to cancel out the cool tone and dark tone of my brows. And then I put Tarte Shape Tape in the color medium or medium beige, I think, over top. Now I'm going in and taking that blue shade from the BH Cosmetics palette with a large brush. I had some paintbrushes on hand as large brushes, so I just went in with paintbrushes, but you can go in with really any large brush to create this gradient down your neck. I'm also going in to create kind of that contour shape. You want some really strong shadows here, but we're going to be using color to create them instead of the typical browns. And next I'm going in with the BH Cosmetics Weekend Festival palette, again in with that purple shade over top of, right on the top line of that blue shade to continue that contour. Now I'm going in with that goldy rosy shade and adding just a little bit more dimension to my skin where contours normally would be, but I didn't want it to be brown and I didn't want it to be super dark. And now I'm going in with that iridescent shade. You can totally use just really any iridescent shade, even if it's a highlighter for this. You don't have to use eyeshadow, but I just went in with the same palette because I love this palette. And we're going all over the forehead, all over our old brows, any high points of the face that you would normally apply highlighter to, I went in really strong. The nose. I also added a little bit more of that rosy gold shade to the sides of my nose and around to kind of create this like illusion of a shorter nose. I'm still going in now with that iridescent shade just to go over top of the blue that I had on my neck. Give it a little bit of shine, some shimmer. Now back to the Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm using Abyss, and we're gonna start really working on our eyes here. I had a little bit of camera troubles, as always, but I did lay down just a rough kind of section of black, and now we're going in with the NYX eyeshadow base. I kind of messed this up. I really wish that I did the base before I even did a loose base of black from Abyss, or the black shade Abyss from Jaclyn Hill palette. I should have just gone in with the NYX eyeshadow primer first instead of doing basically 3 layers. I probably could have just done 2. But you live and you learn. The end result was pretty much the same. Now I'm going in with a tiny pointer pencil brush and going in with black under my eyes as well. Kind of pulling that inner corner towards my nose a little bit more than I usually would. And now I'm going to go over some of that with the iridescent shade. Now this part I struggled with. I actually had to do 2 takes. I wiped basically all my makeup off and then redid everything. But I ended up being okay with how this particular run turned out. So you draw 4 lines of different lengths down from your eyes, and then you connect the kind of scallop shapes, but you cross one of the lines. So you kind of do every other line that they connect. I did have Kimberly Margarita's picture, which I'll put in the screen here to go off of to show you guys as I worked. It was really hard. It was really pretty difficult, and I didn't have the best black like cream to do this with, but after that I went in with some glitter over top of my lines. I went in with black glitter, and I sort of regret that as well. I wish I went in with something brighter to make them stand out more, but the black looked okay. Sorry, I'm so low to the frame. I just always have such a hard time staying in it when I'm doing these hard looks. Okay, now I added some blue to my brows, my no brows. I created brows with this blue cream face paint from the Halloween store. I don't know what brand it is, but it worked out pretty well. I kind of went along what my brows normally kind of look like, maybe a little bit thicker and bolder, but I blocked out my brows just so that the color would show through really well. And I didn't do it on camera, but I also added a little bit of dark purple to it after I did my lashes. So I just popped on some liner and lashes, and now I'm going to do my lips. Going in with that Vivid Lacquer in a gray tone by Maybelline, and on top of it I also used this like purple shade, the Super Stay Matte by Maybelline as well, to give it like a two-tone look. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. I have some fishtail braids in because Pisces is a water sign, and I wanted to incorporate that. I thought this look turned out pretty neat. There are some things I would change, but I'm pretty happy with the overall look, and I will see you guys in the next Zodiac series video. Don't forget to subscribe and like me on Instagram and Facebook.